Profanity Nation.
Yeah, it's the new era of man for some old school fans with a new school brand. We got money on the mic with the plan in hand. And Stat Pat to his left, they go hand in hand. And to the right, we got Simpster, he putting it down. It's the Profanity Nation, we running the town. Yeah,
It's the Profanity Nation.
Profanity Nation.
Yo, what's up, man? It's the Profanity Nation podcast. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the voice of the professional fan. You know we got it here every weekend, every Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. on Infinity TV. As always, I'm joined here by my co-host, Mr. Money Mike. How you doing?
Man, we won.
We won. We're over 500.
We're over 500.
By like a game.
Whoa. We're 2 games over 500.
Right? A game over.
No,
we're 2 games.
We're 2 games.
We're 2 games over 500.
Yeah, we're 2 games over 500.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So we're okay.
We are like right around the 7th
No,
seed.
we're 7th seed right now.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. So we're fighting.
Hey.
We're fighting. I think now the Clippers are the
I
ones.
think we're
half game out of
we're
6
in the
spot.
play.
Okay.
We are actually officially in the playoffs.
For now.
And how horrible is it for us to be celebrating where we got 4 games left?
Man, come on.
Play it. All right, let's keep moving.
Come on.
Let's keep moving.
Come on.
I'm just saying.
Let's save that for the show.
Let's leave that for the show.
right,
Okay, Mr. Stat Pat, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Good. Welcome back. Welcome to the show. Welcome to this weekend. As we were talking about, Lakers are now, what is their record?
Right now they're 40 and 38.
40 and 38. I thought they were 39, 38. Okay, so they're 40 and 38.
Yep.
They actually, by winning against the Rockets now, control a little bit more of their destiny.
Yeah.
Because they're behind the 8 ball, I think they've played 2 less games than the Clippers. So if they can win those games, they actually can succeed and move up. They actually, for the first time, I think this year, the Lakers at least have some control of their own destiny. Am I right with that?
Yeah, they win against Utah. The game against the Clippers will essentially be like the game for the 6th seed. So it's everything's working towards that. We're doing well on this road trip. There's no real reason not to go ahead and beat the Utah Jazz while you have right there while they're spiraling right now, and we're looking pretty formidable. Let's go ahead and get that win, and then let's get the monkey off our back, right? With the Clippers. Let's show that we're actually in, I guess now, their class, right? Because they've been beating us like 7
I don't
in
even
a row,
like how
right?
you said that.
I know what I'm saying. That's
in
what
their
it feels
class,
like.
that just doesn't sound right to
What
me.
it
Okay,
feels like,
you guys,
dog.
we have a great guest today. Okay, so let's get to it because he's waiting. We want to hear what he has to say.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and bring him on if we can. Let's bring on Darian, pettiest Laker fan. We're gonna go ahead and call him Petty. Darian, are you with us? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm honored to be on the show, man. I'm ready to get petty.
Absolutely,
love it.
man. We
For sure.
really appreciate you having me here.
Hey, so Darren, let me start this off, man. So,
This dude right here already.
Look. I'm showing you this chart. I don't know if you can see this chart. They're gonna zoom in on me, but so this chart right here. What this chart is, it was when LeBron said the 23 games of his life. I started tracking this, and then immediately LeBron decided to get hurt. So then I had to modify it because I was giving him an A for a win, an F for a loss, right? And so when I was doing that, I couldn't call it the LeBron thing no more because he wasn't.
Is this
He
really
wasn't
going on right
giving the Lakers. He wasn't the reason why the Lakers were winning. Anyway, since then we're officially 12-7, and so we've been doing pretty well mainly without LeBron. So it's
Oh my God! There it is. You just threw that in right
Okay,
there.
so Pettiest, we know. I'm sure you've checked out the show at least once or twice.
Yeah,
If you
yes, I have.
haven't, we know that our boy here, Money Mike, is our resident LeBron hater. He says he's not.
I'm
but
not
we
a
all
hater.
know he is.
Yeah,
he's just maybe his toughest critic. Okay.
toughest critic.
Okay, he likes that. His toughest
yeah.
critic. Okay. Let's just get with this. Let's go backwards a little bit. This season has been up and down, Petty. We've seen, this has been a roller coaster of emotions for the team. We're dealing with a completely different team now than we had pre-trade deadline. What's this been like for you, this roller coaster ride? And then tell us what you kind of foresee for the last few games of the season.
Word. So let me say this. My perspective being like going from like just being a like ignorant fan to like a content creator, it makes the wins and the losses feel better and hurt worse. So like when it's different when you're rewatching a game, you know what I mean? Or when you watch a game and then they lose, you can turn it off, you can tweet about it and just forget about it
And move on,
Me,
exactly.
you know what I'm saying? When we do these podcasts, we make videos, we gotta relive it, so it hurts a lot.
Right.
But when you zoom out and look at the big picture. After that 2-10 start, the Lakers have the 4th best record in the West. That's even before the trade, before the Rush trade, before anything. With LeBron being out, with Anthony Davis being out, the 4th best record in the West. So, as much as Laker fans, we feel like, man, the sky is falling. They have a new coach. They've had 2 different teams on the court, with each having their own flaws. The former having a lot more stronger flaws, right, than this current team. So overall, I have to say that I'm pretty happy, all things considered.
And what do you think? How many games you got left, Pat?
Yeah, 4.
4 games left. What are we expecting with these 4 games left there, Petty?
I'm hoping for 3-1. Or I'm sorry, I'm hoping for 4-0, but I'm expecting 3-1.
Okay, that's fair. Money Mike, what do you think?
Well, who's the loss to?
I think the only possible loss the Lakers can have in that stretch is against the Clippers.
No, that can't happen.
Isn't that the most majorest game?
So no, it's not. As someone who holds the
Understood.
Lakers to a higher standard, like you're saying, it is a regular season game against a team that has less proven than the stars on our team, right? The duo of LeBron James and Anthony Davis are a proven commodity. They have won a championship. That regular season, it only matters if we need it for seeding, for the sake of seeding.
And that's what I was gonna say. Like, we potentially could be right above or right below them.
That's true.
And this game is definitely a difference between like maybe a 5 or a 6, because potentially we could possibly get there, right? So it's a major game.
I think 6 is
I'll
within
concede
our reach.
that-
I think 5 is a little out.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I'll concede that it is more. It's more important, but it has nothing to do with the Clippers themselves specifically. Just them happen to be like the seeding, right? That they are. That's the only reason that it matters. I just don't want to give that fan base any type of gas, thinking that they have some type of importance. Because I can't deal with that. None of that nonsense. It's not a
Clipper
rivalry.
fan base. That's exactly right, guys.
All
yeah.
7 of them. All 7 of them.
All 7 of them.
Yeah, exactly. And then they're loud. They are quite loud, the 7 fans that they have over there, guys, with their free backpacks. All right, guys. So, so that game, it does look like it's coming down to the Clippers, guys. The Lakers versus Clippers. That's what it looks like it's coming down to. And that's exciting, right?
Yeah.
That's, the hallway series right there. But it is big, right? The difference between 6 and 7 is huge, no playing. Am I right?
Yeah, okay. But at the same time, if you are the 7th seed, you get that game at home. And if you do win that game, you move on and you slide into
one game.
You just win the one game and you slide into the 7th spot. And then you're playing the 2nd seed, which currently looks like it's the Sacramento Kings. So you want to be in that 2-3 range, right? So you will play the winner out of Denver, it's conceivably Denver Phoenix in the conference championship, right? That's the route the best for us right now. However, we keep winning, we might find ourselves back in the 5th spot because people are losing and we're winning right now, and we might be seeing ourselves playing the Phoenix Suns in the first round. I mean, this is how we're just within a hair of that 5th seed.
Petty, do you have a preference as far as who you think the Lakers match up best against in that first round?
I would always love to play the Nuggets. I feel like, to me, the Nuggets are like I think that the Nuggets or the Kings are always going to be who I'd want the Lakers to play. The Kings being like a not proven commodity and being very young, and then also the Nuggets. They're just one of those teams where they'll like get all these wins. They remind me of the Hawks back in the day when LeBron was running the East, where they would just
Right.
you have the best record and then just get ran through. That's
Regular season team. Regular season
yeah,
team.
yeah. I like Jokic. I think he's gonna be phenomenal, but I don't see it, man.
All right, so you like Denver. What about you, Pat? Who would you prefer that the Lakers match up against in the first round?
Oh, I'm with him. I like Denver. I think we match up with Denver, match up with Sacramento Kings, and also the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm not scared of any of that first round, opponents.
They don't want to see us though. I'll tell you that.
No, that's why you see weird stuff like Jokic, sitting out games, playing against teams that actually, affect the Lakers standing.
Oh,
because it's almost weird. Like, I know that's conspiracy theory stuff.
That's Popovich gaming right there.
But what you doing, bro? You're like, you don't have any injuries I know of. Like, why are you resting right now? You're number one seed. You're literally
giving
like
up a game so that they have.
It's just
to
funny.
avoid.
Like, if Sacramento Kings became the number one seed, they probably wouldn't mind. they wouldn't care.
They wouldn't care.
They say like, okay, yeah, we probably wouldn't want the Lakers in the first round. So. Yeah.
So, do you think, Money? Do you think that the Lakers are the one team that everyone's trying to avoid this year?
At full strength, yeah. I mean, obviously, the way that we're playing, though, it's not even what's been on paper. So, at the beginning of the season, it really was on paper, this is the best team. But now, with the trades and with Rui and the additions that we have, man, we're really dangerous. And we've actually proven in the last 20 games, or even at the All-Star break, that somebody can go down and we still can win and play good basketball. And this is the first time.
Not only somebody.
Yeah, LeBron could go down.
I was gonna say he's not just a somebody.
Well, I mean,
he's a somebody.
All right, cool.
He's not just a
LeBron could go
somebody,
down
he's a
and we
somebody.
still can play good basketball and we
Right.
win. We had the scare a couple of games ago where AD was like, "Oh, the season's over," but then we went on like a 20-4 run, like right after that happened, and we really needed that Minnesota game because they had already beat us, so and they were right above us. So the momentum, we actually had the momentum going into the playoffs.
But even tonight, like, think about that. Like you were saying, like we have somebody go down, and we have to just learn how to adjust on the fly and still get these wins. And so we heard at halftime that D'Angelo Russell was going to be out for the second half. Well, we went down. They cut the lead to 6 points without D'Angelo Russell for the rest of the half. So you're thinking, like, how are we going to do this and basically essentially blow them out without one of our big three? That's what I'm saying. Like, we are deep. We're able to absorb all this stuff, and hopefully Mo Bamba can come back so we can.
Do we even need Mo Bamba?
I mean,
Yeah, we need all that. Yeah, actually, that's what we need.
I think we do.
Actually, Darian, that brings you in. Go ahead, please.
I was gonna say I wanted to make commentary. I remember when they were talking about the Portland Trailblazers making it into the 8th seed, right, during the bubble, saying that they're the most dangerous, like, low seed in the history of the NBA. And then the Lakers did what they did. They lost one game and then they ran through them. The Lakers are what the media tried to make that team out to be. I can go without a doubt. Nobody wants to see Anthony Davis, LeBron James with this cast of like you said, deep team. We're 10, 12 deep. You know what I mean? There's players on this. There's people who are complaining about Rui Hachimura not getting enough minutes, which I actually think he should get more. But I'm just saying we're complaining about that when we still have gone 13 and 6, 13 and 7 right now. So yeah. I think the what you guys are saying is factual. Nobody wants to see this team. Like, I promise you.
No. That's why I think.
So the real question is, do we have enough to make it out the West to actually, win the championship this year?
Well, I think a lot of that's going to depend on Darvin Ham's performance. Because once you get to the playoffs, like we said, everything slows down. You're talking about adjustments. That's, of course, what Phil Jackson was a master at. You always knew that if we came out and laid an egg one game, that something was going to change the next game. So let's go to Darvin
Frank
Ham
Vogel
a little bit. What's that?
I'll say, and Frank Vogel. I want to give him his props. Remember, the first game was always the adjustment game, and then after that, the adjustments were made and they were phenomenal. You know, we gave Frank Vogel a lot of crap throughout the time of being like his time here as a coach, especially during that championship season about not making the right adjustments during the regular season. But when it came down to it, when the games mattered most, the adjustments were made. And I'm going to be looking at Darvin Ham under that microscope, you know, the same way. I believe in him. I think he has the opportunity to be a great coach here, and I've been encouraged by a lot that I've seen since the trade. But I just want to make sure I put that out there. We need to hold him to that same standard.
Yeah, I agree, guys. Mike,
Yeah.
you know, we had some grades a couple months back, about halfway through the season. We graded players, we graded
Yeah.
coach, and so forth. Would you say your assessment of Darvin Ham has changed in the latter half of the season, now that the team has changed a little bit and so forth?
I think I graded him as like a B, I believe, if I remember. I think I still kind of have him right there because what frustrates me a little bit by him is I feel like when a player comes back, he doesn't know how to incorporate the player that took his place.
To work him back in.
To kind of, you know, I understand that your minutes have to decrease, but they shouldn't go from 25 minutes a game to 0. You know what I mean? Especially like in the first game, like you not giving Rui any minutes when it was obvious that LeBron. I mean, obviously you had to get LeBron out there, but his timing was a little off. You know, you could have.
How do you get his timing back if he's not out there, Money?
I mean, practice. Let's practice a couple games. You know, I mean, you know, and then not a couple games in a couple of days. Because literally it was a game time decision on that day, which means that he really hadn't practiced.
Yeah.
That you know. So I mean, does he need to get out there? Yes, but I think he could have given Rui a little bit more run there and just figure out just how to really create the balance. I hated what he did today, and I, you know, it's gonna probably be my segment, but like. Dog, like, what are you doing? We up by 26. Why is LeBron and AD in the game?
Still out there. Why are you
know.
chancing that?
Like,
Why are you chancing that?
we up by 20. I mean, we're up by 18 going into the fourth, right? Rui is playing out of his mind. Like, they can't stop him. Why is AD and LeBron there?
Hey.
You know, though, because I think he didn't trust. To be honest with you, I think it's because he didn't trust himself. With the last time we had that type of lead, right? Just the game before last it was, or we had that same type of lead, you know, 18, 15, something
And
going
let it
into,
go.
and let it go. So I think they were just trying to make sure that it was put away, and they even kept. I think like they took LeBron out at the right time, but I think AD stayed in a couple more minutes than he should have, and especially with his, you know, his injury history. I'm sure we're sitting there stressed out.
Yeah, I was stressed out.
Yeah. So look, man, look, I was born in '75, man. So I've seen really, really great generational basketball. I've seen the Magic era, I saw the Kobe era, and now I see this LeBron era, right? And I can tell you one thing about the Magic era. Stat Pat, you know, he would tell you too. Look, you go up by 18, Magic and Worthy, they got ice on their knees in the fourth.
And if they have to come back in.
And if they have to come back in,
They hot.
they hot. They pissed. Because they literally, the way that they played back in that day, where they only was going to play 3 quarters and then they was going to let the scrubs.
Audition.
Yeah. You know, they were going to let the scrubs to the fourth
Use
quarter.
your platform.
Like, yeah, like, you know, that's like what it was. So that was my thought. Like, what are we doing? Like, we up by 18. It's the Rockets. It ain't. Now, I can see if it's.
The Rockets we just lost to. Of course, no
Yeah.
AD, but we just
Yeah.
lost to them. But you know what? Let's get to
Oh,
that
no,
really
they-
quick. You know, some of the decision making. I'd like to get Petty's. What are your thoughts on load management? What are your thoughts on an AD sitting out a game against Houston just because they have the worst record and we end up losing that game when we need every game possible? What are your thoughts on that, Petty?
So I'm conflicted, to be honest with you. So I'm not, because I think the players should play. You know, I too grew my era was watching Kobe, who would rather like his body fall apart than like miss a game, right? So for me, I feel that where I come from that and seeing that, and I appreciated it because I knew if I bought a ticket, he was going to play. But for me, I think we would be equally as upset right now if maybe he was having some type of issues or he didn't sit out that game. If there were, because there's a lot of stuff that sometimes they keep off the injury or the report, just so that it doesn't make headlines. He could have been dealing with some soreness or something like that, and it would have been a whole media headline, right? So I feel like we would be just as upset if he hurt himself and then he couldn't play right now the rest of the season, or he's out until the second game of the playoffs or something like that. So I'm kind of conflicted if he needed that time off when he's been balling out all season for us, and any game that he's been available, he's put up numbers all season long, with a few in between games, this last month that that he looked invisible. With the exception of those games, I feel like he's given some leeway where I feel like I don't want to criticize him as much because he's kind of held it down this season.
Money. Look at you. You're squirming.
Well,
No,
the
dude.
thing about it
What's
is,
up,
well, we know this for the last 2 years. One thing LeBron has been is injury prone. Like, he's had more injuries in the last 2 years that have taken
It
him
makes
out.
sense. He's in the latter half.
I'm just
I
saying,
mean-
it's understandable though.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, don't we have to take that into consideration? We know we knew the Carfax on AD. We knew it was a clunker, so we knew he was gonna get hurt. So don't we have to really you know what I mean? Look, if AD was a car, you lease him, right? You don't never buy him because you
He's a
only give him for
BMW.
2 years. You know what I'm saying? That's
Lease a BMW.
yeah,
Look,
right.
man. Look,
Am I wrong, Petty?
no, I just think when we got LeBron right now, LeBron comes back and he has a triple double, right? Right? He has a triple double, and he's been out for how many games? And now he has a triple double. It just feels like to me he still can contribute because he allowed AD to be the man today. Like literally, we fed AD, and he was able to still affect the game.
Yes,
without
and I guarantee you're saying having all this critique for LeBron right now, but once the playoffs start, he is the best player on the court. It's not about a ability thing with LeBron. It's about his age and having to basically he's in a marathon right now. He's extending his career in a way that's never been done before. So it's kind of hard for me honestly for anyone to take anybody's critique of his gameplay seriously because we're in uncharted territory for somebody. The fact that you even feel comfortable holding him to the standard of somebody who's 29 just is a credit to how great he and how good he is at this point of his career. So. And I'm not saying that you're wrong for that because in LA the expectations are different, but also the praise is different, right? You getting different types of checks, right? Ask Austin Reeves, ask these guys, the type of mass appeal, and all of a sudden you look a little bit better on TV. You know what I'm saying? You look a little bit better. All of a sudden your jokes are funnier. You know what I'm saying? When you you can go anywhere in LA, you don't got to check in.
Always shines
Exactly.
well on you.
So I think as much as you guys give my boy Mike here what's it called again? A hard time for being a hater. It's a necessary evil in LA because someone's got to hold these guys accountable. Even though he goes to an extreme a little bit,
So
Well,
much.
Petty, wait a minute. But hold on. But here's the thing, though. See, listen. We were up by 26 points, right?
You don't get to complain in a win. You don't get to complain in a win.
No,
we win in basketball.
It's a
We
blowout.
won the game. You know that, right?
No,
we did
no,
not lose.
listen.
We blew these dudes out.
Yeah, listen.
He always finds something to
And my
complain
man is
about.
No, wait a
seriously
minute.
here.
He always
Saying
finds
that
something.
triple double you got in the blowout win.
Okay.
I don't like it.
He's that
Okay,
that
so
guy that when you say you had a good day and he's
Okay,
like,
Petty.
how good was
Petty.
it though? Was it
For
really
real,
good?
No, Petty.
For real. How good was that game?
All right, Petty. This is how I look at today, right?
Bruh.
You
Here, I'm
remember
listening.
Kobe.
I'm listening.
No, you remember
listening.
Kobe. You remember when Kobe was playing the Mavericks. How many he scored? He scored 65 and 3/4, whatever it was.
He
Something
had
crazy.
more. He had more than the other team.
Protector.
Yeah, he had
Protector
more.
of the road.
Look, Kobe had more
63,
than
62.
Yeah, but 63, 62 in 3 quarters. It was no need for him to play in the fourth quarter. Why? And what did Brian saw? We asked, we said, man, I'll get it later. And then he got 81 later. He needed those 81 though, right? Those are necessary points. Stat Pat was at the game. We were losing by 15. What he did in that game in that 81. We need the 81 in order to be able to
That
win.
was a special game.
We don't
It was
need.
on-
We don't
sorry to
need.
cut you off.
We don't need 38 from AD tonight. 30 would have
Man.
been good. I mean,
To me,
Petty,
we got 4 games left. We got 4 games left, man. I want to, and we may be in the play-in. I need these guys playing their best basketball going into it. There's no, them guys was injured. They want to play. They haven't played. Those guys missed 20, 30 games this season between the two of them, and they need the chemistry and the time on the court. So to me, I think right now you're splitting hairs. You're splitting hairs on this one because
it's like you're always looking at like the surface, but you don't look deeper.
It's half empty.
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not going that far. I'm just saying that you would just be complaining the same had the Lakers lost this because they took them out and lost the league. That's all I'm saying.
If we lost the game.
No, listen.
It would be a whole different show.
I disagree with that. I think if we was going 18, if we was up by 18 going to the fourth quarter, and Darvingham took them out the game, and the game gets under 10, I'm going to tell Darvingham to put LeBron and AD back in.
Okay, but what if all of a sudden they can't make up the difference and stop the momentum, and then they lose the game? Then what are you saying?
If they cut it down to like 6-7 points, the way that AD and LeBron playing, we should be able to run it right back up.
Okay.
Right?
I agree with him against the Rockets. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do agree with you against the Rockets. They should be able to do that. But at this point in the season, how critical these games are for the Lakers, you just can't chance it, man. You can't because I would be sick to my stomach had they lost.
Right.
Yeah, but it's not gonna matter if they're not in the position that the Lakers need to be in. Because they could lose. Like playing games are like the Sweet 16 or like the March Madness where anything can happen.
Madness.
Anything can happen. Where you just
look at SDS. Come on.
Hey, shout out! You guys know I'm in San Diego. So shout out SDS.
Shout out
Hey.
Aztecs. All the way.
I so want. I mean, we said that's a great segue.
Let's do it.
I so want San Diego State to win because I'm gonna tell you the reason why I want San Diego State to win. I don't know who on that team. I don't know nobody. I don't know not one person on that team, right? And so the fact that I don't know anybody on that team, and I always talk about name brand players. UConn is a name brand school, right? You know what I mean? Do you know if I would have bet? I was looking at it yesterday. I was talking to my brother-in-law. At the start of when the bracket was made, they were 8,500 to 1. If I would have bet $25, and the San Diego State wins, I would have $170,000.
Someone bet. It'll come out.
Yeah. So listen, I absolutely want San Diego State. And I think they actually have a chance because I don't even think UConn's really not that good. From what I've seen. You know what I mean?
It sure would seem like if there's a year where they have a chance, this is the year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's so wide open right now. San Diego State, but San Diego State plays good defense, and so if they actually have some offense with that, because the defense is the constant. They always play good defense. So if they're playing good defense and their offense all of a sudden start clicking, because they kind of like it was a fight against FAU in the Final Four. So the defense, if they could be able to hold a UConn, but UConn they can score, and so they like to get after it early. But it's going to be a really good game. So,
Darren, were you watching that game? Did you watch that buzzer beater?
Yes, that was incredible, man. It was actually most broke down play that a game can have. That's exactly the shot that like coaches do not want to happen.
Don't let that happen.
No. Yes.
Exactly.
No, he said he saw it 2 seconds.
Man.
But okay, so Peyton, let me ask you, who's going to the league on San Diego State?
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you if anybody's going to the league on that team because, like you said, prior to this season, and also too, let me let you guys know, I am the most shallow, college watcher. Period. When it comes to me learning about college players, it is at the draft. I do all my research then, and I rely on people who are really into it. So I can do it. There's just too many teams and too much going on, and I'm a Laker content creator. You know what I'm saying? So I got to focus on the Lakers. So ask me about the Lakers, I can tell you who's going to be nice and who needs to sit on the bench. But outside of that, I can tell you. I can read off the list of the names, but I can tell you nothing else besides that.
So there's nobody that like sparks your eye and things
There
like
might be. There might be after this next game.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where superstars are made.
I do like their I do like their point guard. I can't think of his name right now, but I do like their point guard. But I
That guy's pretty good.
I agree with you.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I'll be honest with you. Like I said, for me, college is like
That's the
something
point.
that
That's
that
the whole
it's
beauty
not
of
a,
San Diego State is that we don't know them. They haven't been hyped.
and teams in general, like in college, there's always an upset. Well, it might not always be at the last, like as far as they make it this far, but there's always that, like, man, this team's ranked, top 5, most likely to win, and they go out in the first or second round because it's like any given Sunday. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You just have it. One team can get hot. One team can get cold, and they don't have that go-to guy who can just get you a bucket no matter what. And this is how it turns out.
Excellent. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick little break. We've got Darian. We've got the pettiest Laker fan. We call him Petty in the house. Happy to have him here. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Profanity Nation.
Profanity Nation, baby.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services. The Profanity Nation is now the official podcast of the Los Angeles Lakers fan club on Clubhouse. Be sure to join, over 5,000 strong and growing. Also, text Lakers to 22828 for a chance to win a free t-shirt. Again, text Lakers to 22828 for a chance to win a free t-shirt. Back with the Profanity Nation podcast. Oh, gotta get the mic. That doesn't work without the mic. You know that happens.
Reality TV.
That's what producers are for. He's like, "Ooh, the mic." All right, guys, we're back at the Profanity Nation podcast. We've got Darian, pettiest Laker fan, call him Petty, in the house. Petty, I'd like to. I know you've already spoke about Denver a little bit. I'd like to get your take on some of the other playoff teams. What do you think about the Phoenix Suns?
I'm going to say this, guys. I'm not buying yet. I'm not buying stock in the Suns yet. I'm not a believer yet. Kevin Durant is going to Kevin Durant. He's efficient. He's going to be a guy who, no matter what, you know what you're going to get from him. But the rest of that roster is very shallow. If CP3, how do I say this?
Say it straight.
If CP3 is CP3 from 2 years ago, a year ago, in the playoffs, and he's just been kind of decided to be trash so he can save his legs and his body for a playoff run, then I can see them being legit contenders. But if he is a shell of himself the way he's been this season, them boys ain't going nowhere except for the Bahamas. You know what I'm saying? They going fishing.
Going on their fishing trip.
Cancun on 3.
Cancun
All
on
right.
3, baby.
Let's move on. Sacramento Kings. Darian,
Yeah, I'm listening.
let's get your take.
Oh,
on
I'm
the
sorry.
Sacramento
I'm
Kings.
sorry.
You're good.
I'm sorry. I thought you were about to segue.
We're sticking with you. You're our guest. We're sticking with you.
Okay, cool.
I
Cool.
listen to these guys all the time. I want to hear what you guys. What do you
Fair
say?
enough,
Your
fair
take
enough.
on the
Okay, fair
Sacramento
enough.
Kings, please.
Okay, yeah, okay. Kings, also not buying. West is wide open, guys. The Sacramento Kings.
So is.
They're a great story. They're a blue chip story. You know what I'm saying? They're a nice little, like, oh, I can't believe it. Congratulations. And honestly, like, all jokes aside, I think it's really cool that they have made it to the playoffs. I think that is good for the NBA when teams are better. So I don't look at that as like the joke that a lot of Laker fans or people talk about. But as far as legitimate contenders, they're not there yet.
So they're no threat to you.
Nothing.
Who else do we got out
Utah.
there?
We got Memphis. We got Memphis.
Memphis. Yeah, let's go with John Morant and Memphis. Thoughts on Memphis in the playoffs?
They're right there. They're like a maybe a conference finals team. I can see them upsetting a team, but I don't see them going further than that.
I kind of agree. I think they're one catastrophic failure away. I'm a firm believer that before you can win a title as a team, you have to suffer some sort of major defeat that just corrodes your inside, that you never want that again. And that's what it takes. And I don't believe they've felt that at all yet.
Yeah, I think the worst matchup for Memphis will be the Lakers or the Warriors.
Warriors. I want to see Warriors so badly. Them versus the Warriors.
It's because when the Grizzlies played the Warriors, like that psychological stuff that Dylan Brooks does, it doesn't work on them, right? It's like, it works on everybody else, but
they got Draymond Green though.
It doesn't work on them.
Yeah.
So it's like
Draymond's like, oh, you want to play?
So yeah, we play those games.
You can't out Draymond.
So now it's like they cancel out, and that was all skill. So it's like, oh damn, you got Curry against Morant. It's like, man on man, the Warriors always come on top. So yeah, it's just crazy, dude. I think that matchup they do not want to see because they're not ready for that mental toughness. The Lakers will beat the Memphis Grizzlies because we have championship pedigree. So I think
experience.
And we have an experience, and the people that we need to make plays will make plays in those championship moments. And now we have a squad behind them. So like, I just feel more confident than we did with this squad than we did in 2020. To be honest, just to see what AD and LeBron has, and then see the skill around them. We did not have this in 2020. We were doing that with a lot of hustle, a lot of good defense, and big time shot making. In clutch situations.
Let's just. I just want to touch one last question for you here before I move on to something else. As we're kind of judging, I know we judged some of these playoff teams and we've judged the Lakers and Darvin Ham. Thoughts on Pelinka? Now he's gone up and down from a failure to a B to an A to a C to a failure. What are your thoughts on Pelinka as VP General Manager of the Lakers?
Executive of the year. So
really,
yes. Let me tell you guys why. Because I'm gonna break it down for you guys right now. Because going back to the Anthony Davis trade, everything about that trade was considered to be under Magic Johnson's. Under Magic Johnson's. Based on the things that he said and done since then, it seems that not to be true. But let's go ahead and credit him as, it seems that, there might be some questions there. But let's just go ahead and credit him with a little bit of, Pelinka being in there as well as being in that front office, right, helping them. But since then, since they made that trade, the Lakers won a championship. And then they've retooled, which in hindsight, people have criticized it. But at the time, the Lakers were up 2-1 against the Phoenix Suns, and I think most people who know basketball believe that they would have won that series had Anthony Davis gotten injured. Then you move on to the next season, where to me that is where the first missteps of under Pelinka had been made. Right, not bringing back Caruso, and then trading for Russell Westbrook, which was obviously a catastrophic mistake based on the results, right? To me, they got a little cheeky there. You know what I'm saying? And I all the criticism towards that trade was deserved. To me, what I saw from the fan base is the reason that they're in the position they are as fans, and he's in the front office, right? Because I have my friend who works in the front office say, if you listen to the fans, you'll be sitting right there next to him, and that always resonated with me because those decisions, it's not, once you made a bad decision like that, your next move needs to be your best move. The trade that the trades that they made, every decision, in my opinion, since that Westbrook trade has been absolutely phenomenal and the best opportunity to not only take advantage of the current season that we have in front of us, but the future. So I give him an A+. And yes, it was painful to watch and endure at the beginning of this season and last season, but the Lakers have flexibility. They have a team currently, and they have a team into the future that they can be able to build around. So I'm absolutely happy with what they've done.
Okay, so look. Okay, so let me ask you on that, because I agree pretty much with everything that you said. He had a whole lot of missteps. I actually did not understand why they were blowing up the team when they were like, if LeBron would have been hurt, we would have been in the championship. Why would we blow up a team that was already considered to be the best team ever, which we actually did? I can't give him GM of the year. I can't give him an A+ because he was failing in the beginning of the season. You know, so at the beginning,
It's an average.
yeah, so at the beginning of the season, you know, he was getting D's and fails, you know, D, a C, whatever. And then now all of a sudden he started studying, you know what I mean? So now, okay, cool, he's getting A+, but you can't take away the D's and the fails.
Okay, so
You know,
Let me ask you this.
I just want to say something real quick. So if that's the case, and I understand that, you know, we're judging him over his overall performance for the season.
For this whole year.
However, he is actually waiting to the last moment to see what the value is of all these picks and what he has at his disposal, and he's turning these lemons.
He's done a great job.
This dude is taking some sour ass lemons, bro, and he is producing.
Facts.
Dude,
Spit.
producing what you see on the court right now. He had turned Thomas Bryant, okay, for 3 second-round pick. Highway robbery right now.
Listen,
Highway robbery.
I
right
know,
now.
and I give
he's
The
getting
value
10
of the
minutes.
second round pick went up because of the Lakers all of a sudden. Because we started getting gems in the second round. Because of us, that now everybody is trading second round picks again for players. For players.
Yeah, they was moving
right
them
now.
second round picks like never mind. I
They're
can't.
valuable.
So that's what it is right now. We are hitting on all these picks right now, and I'm sorry, we found the value. We said, hell no, we ain't gonna give you 2 first-round picks for Westbrook. We gonna give you that 1 first-round pick. You gonna take that pick. You gonna take Westbrook too, and you gonna give us players. Like, you're not gonna just play us like we were just gonna have to take all kind of
Facts.
whack trades. So so now, right now, he is producing all of this, and now this team is like, if we get to the second round or even the conference championship, next year is a wrap. Because now we got that chemistry. Now we know what we need to do to win this championship.
And a second
and
year
we got
coach.
all
So-
the run
Second
this
year
back,
coach
and it's on the
with
clock.
experience.
And
So-
Mike, sorry to cut you off, but I was saying to answer what you were saying too, what you're saying about his score throughout the season. You also have to look at to me, it's not, you can't look at it as like game by game, right? It really, to me, it's about the end result. At the end of the season, because what's our goal at the end of every season? To be able to compete for a championship. If they make that trade at the beginning of the season, that does not give this team the best opportunity to win a championship this season or in the future. Westbrook's value in the summer. You guys, we're trying to downplay this, but are you trying to downplay what he was up against? But Westbrook's trade value was at the lowest that it's ever been in his entire career, ever. That's just point blank. It'll never go lower than that. Than it will then, because he's not going to get he's not going to have a contract like that ever again. So it'll never be lower than it was. And like he was saying, to your point, he was able to turn them sour lemons into actual basketball players that can help us compete.
Bingo.
And
Petty's
also
right.
help him. So yeah, so
Petty's absolutely right.
right.
He's absolutely
So
right.
he has A+. So
No. Yeah, because you can't have it both ways. You can't give LeBron an A or F and then go, yeah, but Pelinka's going to vary. No. His job is to put us in contention to the end of the season. So he's right, being that grade could vary anywhere from an F to an A+, regardless of what he's done. If we win the title, it's an A+. You can't say it's a C. It's an A+.
Yeah.
This is pass or fail.
I mean,
it's pass or
we
fail.
can't give him a B+, A-.
Hell no, right now.
It's pass or fail.
Think about who. Wait, who's winning? Who's winning?
No, we're winning. Listen,
so I'm just saying.
I'm the first
what
one to
trade
say.
what moves after the trade deadline? So okay. So take for example, we have the whole Kyrie situation. He gets traded to Dallas. They were fifth in the West, a game out of the fourth spot. They are now trying to beg to get into the play-in right now. Okay, they at the 11th spot begging. I think 2 games out of it. So what I'm saying is, that is what bad moves happen, and that's what happened. What good moves happens, we're now flirting with the number 6 and number 5th seed in the West.
Okay, cool. Can I say I'm gonna give Pelinka extra credit for not listening to LeBron?
Oh my God!
Is that fair?
No,
Wait, is that fair?
Yo, Skip Bayless needs to take some classes from you.
No, Petty.
This is like, this is like
Petty,
dealing with my girl. No matter what I do, no matter what she does, it's my fault.
I'm gonna give him.
If she makes a mistake, she's like, well, you were supposed to remind me.
No.
It's like, it doesn't
Petty,
matter.
wait
It
a
all
minute.
comes back to LeBron.
Wait a minute. Am I making the valid point? Because
No.
obviously it was
No.
very clear that LeBron wanted Kyrie and Pelinka didn't do it. So I would give Pelinka extra credit for that.
So
Okay.
I mean, so to me, I think that I think let me to his point, to Mike's point. Obviously, like anybody who says that LeBron James is a powerful force in your front office, if he's on your team, you're just lying. You're being disingenuous. So I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like he doesn't have pull. So let me address that. I'll say that it does take some type of I don't know, like backbone or whatever, to be able to go against that. Because what's going to happen is that no matter what, the front office is going to be the one who takes the brunt of has the fall on the sword, so to speak. Because LeBron and Anthony Davis both wanted Russell Westbrook there, and they made that trade. And I know that there was people who were against that. I'll just leave it at that. And we saw how that turned out. So I will say, to a degree, I do agree with that point, but it's not like a slight on LeBron, because players are going to want to play with other great players. That's natural. They're going to say, hey, figure out a way to get this player to our team, whatever you have to do, and we'll figure it out afterwards, because that's a commodity that can't be, you're never going to get back. When the Pelicans are showing you right now, when you trade someone who's as talented as AD, you're never going to get back what you got. Like, I'm sorry, he's a generational talent, even with the injury issues. There's not anybody on that team right now, Zion, BI, who are what Anthony Davis is even right now. So, but I say all that just to say, how many teams you got in the history of the NBA have made the playoffs after being 2-10? Do you guys know that? The answer to that?
Zero.
Absolutely 0 teams. So if they make the playoffs, and to me, executive of the year. That's how I feel about it.
Okay. If he gets executive of the year, it's because of the extra credit he got for not listening to LeBron.
Okay, deal.
Wait.
Okay, step back.
Is that fair?
Quickly step back, because we
Is
got to
that
go to the
fair,
final
Petty?
segment.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Step
what
back.
it is. When it comes to Pelinka, he did do what you're saying. Like,
Right.
He's like,
Yeah.
look, guys, we've let it ran its course, right? Mm-hmm. We didn't have a season. I did it your way. You said you wanted Westbrook. We got Westbrook. This is what Westbrook got. This is our sample size. Examine it. Think about it. Look within yourselves. Take, your medicine, whatever.
Enjoy the sourness.
Yeah, and now let's make business decisions and move on to something that's actually going to help us win. Okay? Because the experiment did not work. Okay? So that's what happened, right? And so now he's like, okay, I'm taking the keys away from y'all. And so all of a sudden you start making these moves. And it's like, damn, look what a GM could do when he can maneuver and make these little shrewd moves.
Facts.
Hachimura came out of nowhere. Yeah, Hachimura. We're like, what the hell? We got Hachimura? Like, for real? Y'all gonna give us Hachimura for just nothing? Come on, for nothing, dude.
Yeah, that was
Come on,
a
dude.
really great
What you talking about like now?
No, listen.
And look at this dude.
He's done a great
you
job.
sure you don't want Hachimura? Okay, I'll take him for second round pick for sure. Like,
No.
but it's just that's what we're talking about. Like, he's making these small moves that now we're looking at this whole this nucleus now, because now we have this deep roster, and so now you have to like judge him on the roster, because if we're looking at just one pinpoint move that he made, then yes, it doesn't matter. But
Yep.
D'Angelo Russell is keeping like the assist to turnover ratio all the way down, pretty much. And he's a nice outside shooter, and he's able, when they go with the kick out, he could attack the defense, either driving or hit shots. You know what I'm saying? Like we have this this new team with all this kind of like dynamic moves. You got to look at, we're flexible right now, and all we need is like a
Which is
backup center,
awesome. Exactly
and it's
what
a
I need.
wrap.
Backup center.
I feel it.
I agree. I agree. I
We all
think that's
agree.
one thing we all agree on. That's what we all agree on.
Let's
That's
see
what we all
let's
agree
see if
on.
we can get- let's see if we can get 100% here, guys. Petty, you
It's
watch
about
the
to be
show, so
100%.
you know that we always finish our show here with a segment we call Money Mike's Out of Bounds. Money Mike's going to share his thoughts or opinions on a topic, and it's simple, guys. He just wants to know if those thoughts are inbounds or out of bounds. Mr. Money Mike, you got the mic.
Hey, I'm about to be 100%. I know y'all gonna go against me. Petty, get ready. Stat Pat, Simpson. Go ahead, get ready. So I was looking at this game, and you know they were talking about LeBron was one assist away from a triple double. So I immediately said, "Hey, that's why they're keeping him in the game." So am I out of bounds for saying the only reason why they kept LeBron in the game because he wanted to stat pat when it was unnecessary because he was close to a triple-double and he was able to tie Jason Kidd with having 107 triple-doubles today. And that's why they stayed in the game, because this guy was trying to stat pat. He was
We'll
so
start
close.
with our guest, Petty.
You know what? He's inbounds, and so what? And so what? And so what?
I
And
love
so
that
what?
answer.
And so what?
Damn, I love that
And so
answer.
what? And so what? And so what?
Right there. That's a shirt
And so
right
what?
there.
All right.
And so what?
Oh, so
And so what?
I mean, look. Dude, the fact that he was stat padding, and he's like, we're still winning the game.
And
We
so
changed the
what?
stats at this point in time in his career. So,
100%.
I'm in bounds?
yeah, no, you're out of bounds.
I'm out of bounds. All right.
You're inbounds.
I'm
And-
inbounds.
And so what? I'm totally
Exactly.
into the so what, and you might hear that every single week here from now on. Yeah, absolutely. So what? They were winning. Who cares? It doesn't affect the game at all. It helps his little
It's stats. Okay.
And he earned it. He earned it. He still has to get those rebounds and score those
Bingo.
points.
He had
and,
to get to
and,
that
and
point
get,
where he
and
was
those
only
assists.
one away.
Like,
He didn't bounce it
it's
off
not
the
like
other opposing. We go.
Yeah, he didn't throw it off the backboard to get a rebound himself.
No, there
This
you
man
go.
is
There you
this
go.
man
They
is
had to
still
take it
affecting the
back.
game in a positive way. Like
Exactly.
back in the day, they would have played. You know, there's people who would play an entire game to stat pad it. I mean, it's incredible what he's doing at this age. And I don't even care at this point if he is stat padding at even for one play, because I don't think he played a game where he was just stat padding and trying to get points. The only time I ever know that LeBron is stat padding is that he's got injured before he has 10 points. Because if he gets injured before he has 10 points, he's staying in until he gets that 10 point to keep that streak going. Because it's the longest streak in NBA history. No one's ever going to get that.
The little behind the scenes. Money Mike, you got exactly 1 minute.
All right,
please.
Petty. So
We got 1 minute.
We gotta get out of here, man. So
All right,
always,
all right.
every time we have a guest in the show, we always give him a shirt. I'm gonna give you a couple of choices. The way he plays, he don't deserve a nickname. He
I
ain't
like
worth that
that.
money. We got another one. How much longer is his contract? Or very plain and simple, trade him. Which one do you want?
That first one is cold. I'm gonna use that next time I'm on the basketball court. Don't let somebody with a nickname come out there. Oh yeah, they call him Slasher, and he's smoking layups. I'm gonna be pointing
right.
at that shirt.
All right, man. We gonna get that with you, man. The way he plays, he ain't worth the nickname. Was yours. I'm gonna send it to you, man. You gonna
I
get it this week,
appreciate
man.
it,
Hey,
man.
thanks for
Thank you
coming on our
guys for having
show.
me.
Hey,
Yeah,
Darian,
anytime,
please
man.
let all our listeners and our viewers know the best way to keep up to date with what you've got going on, please.
Word. Okay, so on all social medias, I am at the Pettiest LA. I'm mainly on Twitter and on Instagram. I just started really focusing on my Instagram. My niche is basketball, specifically Lakers basketball and sneakers. I like to the story around both. The thing that I love about basketball is that it's entertainment and that it's supposed to be positive, and I want us to not forget that. So that's kind of my focus when I make content, and I hope that you guys will check it out, or if you guys are able to check it out, you can laugh with me and enjoy basketball and sneakers and the stories around them. So that's kind of my
Amazing.
whole thing.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
We love you. We love you keeping
Yeah,
the
man,
culture
thank
up.
you very much, for
Absolutely,
sure.
dude. Much deserved, Petty. Thank you so much for joining us. We were so looking
you,
forward
guys.
to this day. We'll definitely have you back on real
Yeah, man,
soon.
it was-
Hey,
Awesome,
man,
man.
you gotta drive like 200 miles to come in the studio.
Yeah,
though,
we
man.
definitely got to get you in studio at some point.
No, I gotta come. I have to come up to the studio now, man. I had too much fun tonight.
Yeah, all right, for sure, man.
Wait,
Thank you.
we'll,
I gotta
we'll
find-
have to
Appreciate
catch
it.
I gotta
you
find
on the
out
way
what's
out
in
of
those
one of
red
these
cups.
finals games. We'll get you on the way out of one of these
You
finals
know what,
games. Here.
man, we had to keep it OG though.
Yeah, I got the,
Yeah,
the red
I gotta find out
solos. You know how that goes.
I gotta find out what's in that red cup. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's only in studio.
Yeah, that's only in
studio.
studio,
That's
sir.
Patreon. That's Patreon stuff right there. All right, guys. Well, again, for everybody here, for Money Mike, Stat Pat, I am Simsta. This
sure.
is the Profanity Nation podcast. Thank you for joining us. We will be live again next week at 8:30 p.m.
No,
on
man,
Sunday.
next week is
In 2
Oh,
weeks.
that's right. It's
It's
Easter.
Easter, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Can't do
Well,
that.
gosh,
Yeah, in 2 weeks.
Sorry, I'm the only Jew here.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I'll be working. Okay, guys. Yeah, I'll be working, dude. All right.
Yeah.
All right,
Somebody
guys.
got
So,
some Easter
in
egg
2
hunts to
weeks,
go
we'll be
to.
back in 2 weeks, and we'll see you then.
Oh, it's gonna
And
be a great show.
the Lake. Oh yeah, we'll know everything about the
Oh,
Lakers
yeah.
and the playoffs, and everything will be done. All right, guys. Thank you, Petty. Thank you so much. We can't wait to see
Yes,
your
sir,
stuff
man.
online. We love to support you. We love everything you do.
I appreciate that. Same goes to you guys,
All
man.
right,
I'm
guys.
like I said, I'm honored
Appreciate
to
you,
be
man.
here. Thank you.
Everybody
Yeah.
out.
All right.
Hey, man, peace out.
Peace.